Owen Morgan briefly alluded the fact that he doesn't mind the fact that they're playing almost a knockout game, the final game, the deciding game. And there you go. We really want to play in a must-win game like this. They're the closest thing that we get to playing in a World Cup or a Champions Trophy. And of course, there's a World Cup coming up in a few months' time in India. And this could be potentially the venue for the grand finale. But let's look back a little bit from India's point of view. How have they done when they've been level at a series with a decider to play? And I can tell you the record is very, very good. Going back to 2016, series at 1-1, home or away. And we've taken 3-match series into account, obviously, because most series have been 3-match series. 5-match T20I series have been very, very rare. India winning them all, drawing that one thanks to a washout. 2017, that was at home. And the only one, Joy, that has gone against them is the decider in New Zealand in 2019, and that was away from home.
Yeah, in fact, I want to take you up on this because, Gautam, I want to allude to a time where you spent a lot of time with the Indian team. In India's, how history tends to, we tend to be clouded about history. In 2000 to 2004-05 is looked at one of the golden periods of Indian cricket history. Saurav Ganguly as captain, Sehwag, Sachin, Kumble, Dravid, Lakshman, Yuvraj, all sorts of stars. Saurav Ganguly, I just picked up a report when he just lost the Asia Cup in 2004. And India had reached 13 finals. 3 of them had been washed out. Remember, there was a lot of games in Asia which were getting washed out due to rain. India had won just one final, which was a NatWest in 2012, and lost 9. Okay, that was somebody who's regarded as India's most successful captain, and he lost that many finals. If you look at that record compared to the record now, it is almost unbelievable how well we now play in crunch situations. And I think a large part of it again comes from the IPL. Just the experience of playing in big match crunch situations. It's been a sea difference, really a sea difference.
Joy, that was the actual reason why the shirt came off. It was not Flintoff. It was the relief. The only final that we won. Okay, go on, off with the shirt. Michael, but we won't dwell on that because it's a subject that's a sore point with most Bengalis. But a record like that, it's one of the big changes you would have noticed in Indian cricket between that era and now. And the personnel in that era were the same, if not better.
Yeah, I guess Joy mentioned the IPL, the pressure that these players are under pretty much day to day. They're a fantastic group of players. I think Virat deserves a lot of credit. The way that he drives the team. They're very much in the faces of the opposing side. They play an aggressive game in the field with the bat, with the ball in hand. India now have all kind of obstacles covered in terms of pace. They've got the spin. They've got the left hand, right hand combinations. I still think they can be a better fielding team. I look at this Indian team and think, they've got everything. I don't think they're a brilliant fielding team, and that might be their kind of downfall in a few months' time if they're not careful. That T20 cricket, particularly when it gets to semi-final, finals, you're talking of small margins. 1%, 2%, 3% differences in the teams, and it might be an individual innings of brilliance, an individual bowling spell, 2 or 3 overs of brilliance, a flying one-hand catch, a brilliant run out. But a real collective team fielding unit can win you a game of T20 cricket. And so far, I haven't seen that from this Indian side. I've seen, individual brilliance with the bat, with the ball. I haven't seen a collective team fielding effort. And I do think in T20 World Cups, you will have to field a lot better than what we've seen in this series. So it doesn't surprise me that they're very good in bilateral one-off games like this, because they're an outstanding team. But England are pretty good as well. England like these one-off games. They have been for 3 or 4 years now in the white ball game. They generally are not scared. They're not scared of the big stage, the big moments. So I'm intrigued today of how it goes, how they come out and play. India, I think, have the upper hand because they won doing it this way just a couple of days ago. India have got to bat with great fearless approach again, try and get to 180 plus, and then all the different cutters, all the variations have come out. But England will fancy getting early wickets. If they can get Virat out early, they'll fancy restricting India for something under 160, and then you'll say that England will be favourites.
Yeah, the experience, Joy, you can't really take anything away from that. We showed you that graphic for India, but let's not forget, without going into a history of it, in all the bilateral tournaments they've played, India is the only team who have actually beaten them. And of course, if you look across 50 and 20 over format, 2016 World Cup final T20, 2019, of course, champions.
And England are excellent. England are brilliant at this, and I think what England does very well now is calmness. Morgan is a very, very calm captain, and I think it tells. And again, we talk about captains. Look at the different captains. Virat is this very explosive, this bundle of energy, but he's also a bundle of emotions. I mean, you can read every emotion in Virat Kohli's face. Morgan, you have no idea what's going on. He's much calmer. He's much more relaxed about it, and generally relaxed captains are maybe less inspirational in that sense, may not be so overtly inspirational, but they can in tough situations, they can calm their team down. You look at the captain, you're saying skipper seems to be all right with all this. He's there. We're going to sort this out. And that helps in situations like this. I believe Morgan has been a huge factor in this.